Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is the Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games in a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. If you like what you see, remember to hit that like button, and if you want to see more, hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is Pro Cycling Manager 2017, and this is week 22 of competition. I am in Pro Cyclist Mode. I have a stage racing specialist, Decathlon Gamer, and I'm now in Season 2. Season 1 was down at the Continental Division, and Season 2 I joined Awanti Group Gobert, who actually got promoted up to the World Tour stage. So I've jumped over the Pro Continental Division. However, because I'm only a mid-level member of the team, I've actually found myself in this situation where
the breakaway has now more than 5 minutes on the peloton. The breakaway is not to everybody's liking.
where I'm still racing at that Pro Continental level. However, kind of the only thing about it is that the World Tour has a pretty set schedule, and for the most part, the World Tour races, yes, are all the World Tour teams, but the Pro Continental races, a lot of them are visited by the same handful of World Tour teams year by year. And so I'm facing off with lots of World Tour riders season by season. I mean, like you can see here right next to me, there's Trek, there's Istana, so there are multiple. Now, a quick note as we are in this race right now is that there are stage 2. I'm entering this stage in 9th place overall, and I am the leader outsider for my team. You can also see, though, that today's stage is just a loop, 4 hill climbs. Not a big deal. Sprint finish at the end. However, since the start of this stage, you can see that it's raining, and raining pretty hard. And apparently, it's crazy slick out there, because there's been about 6 races already. And on my team alone, there's been 2 withdrawals. Premont and Smith have already withdrawn, and a lot of other riders have withdrawn as well. And after all of these wrecks, there were 11 riders in the breakaway. And they're still away. They're 4 minutes away. But from there on, you can see this huge split, and I'm actually in a small group that's about a minute ahead of Peloton. But we are not racing hard, and there you go, they've actually caught back up to us, which I had figured a while back that they would. Just took them longer to cut back than I thought it would. But there's still 4 minutes between us and the breakaway group, and we're going to need to keep a close eye on things here. As this has been a pretty crazy start to the stage with all of these wrecks. So here we are heading up over the climb for the second time. I'm going to speed things up a little bit as things have settled, at least momentarily, and the wrecks have stopped for the moment. But we'll be slowing it back down when the wrecks begin again, as riders go down and go down hard in this race. So it looks like McNally is in line for the points leader. I went over that climb first. So that's up and over the climb for the second time, so we are approaching the halfway mark of this race. Thomas DeGent, who is the overall leader, was caught up in one of these wrecks. There you go, there's another. Pardini and a number of other riders have all gone down and are now off the back. We are now back down to a peloton of just 77, as there's another split yet again. Ooh, and there's 3 minutes between us. So that back group, 49 riders, is back up. There's more withdrawals.
Some riders definitely won't be able to keep up. A symbolic kilometer.
So there's about 3 minutes between us and the, which of course that's from the front of the peloton to the front of the trailing group, but that group off the back, might not necessarily be able to catch back up. They're 2.5 minutes. They are gaining. Somebody did get caught there in between. Alright, so we are past halfway now. You would think that the pace is going to pick up here pretty soon. I'm looking pretty solid. +3 on the day. +4 on the hills, +4 on the climbs. Sprint's not looking great. And I think the biggest thing in this race is going to be these crashes. As these 4 climbs really aren't going to split the field much. And the intensity hasn't been there. Except for, I'm sure, in the groups that have been chasing have probably had to push pretty hard. But we certainly haven't pushed hard in the field, so. Alright, so we are starting the climb for the 3rd time now. We are still 3 minutes behind the breakaway group. There's a real chance that they're going to be able to hang on with all these wrecks. And the intensity just hasn't been there. Those 42 riders off the back are back within a minute and a half. They shouldn't be too far off from catching the group now. But it looks like they are getting split here on the climb while chasing. They're chasing pretty hard. And they're all split up. Looks like some of those riders have caught the tail end of the main group here on the climb. Looks like the front group's also all split up after going over that time. So that hill's not intense, but it's intense enough that it is splitting the group up. So we're down to, as we reach the bottom and went through the sprint point, now there's only 60 riders left in the peloton, and it's all split up behind us. So that will affect the times quite a bit. There's going to be some riders left out for sure.
They're moving along at a fair lick. You've just got to hang on.
Alright, one more time over the climb. And this group of 60 should shrink probably still a little further. There's only 7 riders left off the front, and their lead is down to a minute and a half. It will be a little bit difficult to catch them, but we seem to be gaining pretty quickly. They're down to a minute 10 already. So we picked up 20 seconds in just a handful of kilometers, and as we go up over this climb, I'm sure they're going to trail even further. Alright, the intensity has picked up. My 86 wasn't enough, so somebody's pushing it finally here over this last time. 52 riders left in the group as we are getting to the steeper part of the climb. The last time, I'll slow it down for this. Looks like we're also coming up on the breakaway group.
The pace is really hot, so for the moment, we shouldn't see too many attacks. The pack has just reeled in
McNally, my teammate's the last one from the breakaway group, and then there's now just 45 of us here trailing behind. Now 37. We're just about to catch McNally. 29 at the top. Falls flat for a little bit, and we start the descent with 29 riders left. McNally is definitely not going to stay away. He's got his mountain climber points now, so he'll be caught. So the stage winner is going to come from this group. So we've got 30 riders going for it. There's 5 riders just a little behind us that might catch up before the end, and in fact, there they go. But with 10K to go, I definitely should see another top 10 finish today.
It's a shame, but he's not going any
possibly
further.
Anyway. Alright, we're going to slow it back down. We've got 7K to go. Again, I'm looking pretty solid on the day, so I've still got the stamina real strong there. A little bit of a bonus to my sprint today, and McNally, at least for the time being, is protecting me as we head towards the finish. 5K to go. Now just over 4K to go. I still have my energy gel here for the end. I'm going to use that now. And then up my intensity. And I'm going to begin moving towards the front. So I'm going to use up McNally right in the prime spot 1.2K to go, and here we go for the sprint. I come around second on the line. Of course, I'm not a sprinter, so these guys are going to burst past me, but it looks like I might be hanging on for a top 5 finish today.
Teamwork really paid off, and their sprinter brings home the bacon.
And there we go, 5th place without using hardly any energy on the day, so I'll be real fresh heading in tomorrow. But the more important thing was there's just 34 riders left in this front group, so there's going to be a good amount of attrition. Thomas de Gent did stay near the front. He got 6th on the day. Geschke there is in 8th. Let's see, I don't know. I don't see any other big names. Well, Van Rensburg, they're in 3rd. So there's a few of us still, but there definitely could be a number of riders that had been near the front that did not finish with that front group today. Not necessarily because of their abilities, but because of the wrecks that occurred early in the stage. We didn't seem to have any wrecks late on as the groups got pretty spread out from there. They got small. That must have had an impact, but that rain was falling hard today, and it definitely affected the race. For me, in a positive way, as I was able to grab a top 5 finish on the day, even without any sprint skill. Alright, so 5th on the day. Apparently there was 35 riders at the end. Or somebody crashed in the last 3K and got the same time. Alright, so here's the adjusted standings now. It's down to 23 riders in some sort of contention. Thomas de Gent hangs on to his overall lead. And I'm now 8th. So you can see Geschke is still there. Van Rensburg is still there. De Gent, of course. And I'm not seeing any other big names. Daryl Impey is there. Ben King is there at the back end of the group. Alright, so 8th in provisional standings is good. 5th on the stage is very good. So I do pick up 14 points. I'm getting closer to reaching level 14. And the manager satisfaction holding well, just on the verge of 90%. And we're going to head into the final day of this 3-day race in Belgium. Alright, so I'd have to say I'm having a pretty decent season considering the challenges I've gone through. Now, that +3 would come in really, really handy on this race because we are absolutely going to have a small group at the finish, and that final climb will determine the winner for sure, and a pretty strong descent afterwards. And I've found that I'm a good descender compared to others. I know how to attack on it. Looks like I've got a +2 coming in because I'm at peak fitness right now. So that probably played into how I had the +3 on the previous day. Geschke is the favorite. De Gent, Ponzi also. Van Rensburg, Sean DeBay, who won the last stage. There's Daryl Impey. I'm not seen in the top 10. They see this as a hill climbing stage. I would think that this steepness should play more into a mountain climber. My freshness is excellent. That should also help.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome. The profile of the route is a fairly mixed bag, so everybody should find a section to their pleasing.
Okay, still leader outsider, looking for the top 10 finish, and I'm down to a much smaller team today, just 6 riders. Peloton's down to 136 overall. Quite a few riders were lost yesterday under the rainy conditions. It looks like we're at least starting out the race today with mostly clear skies, just a few clouds out there. But once we get up to the mountains, you never know what's going to happen up there. Okay, we got a breakaway group trying to establish itself. It looks like about 4 riders to begin with. It'd be nice if it stays at just 4 riders, because that's easy to manage. They won't get away too far. A lot of Category 1 climbs the back half of the race today, so it will be intense. It will split things up for sure. A 5th rider is still trying to get away from the bunch. They're more than a minute away, and they're slowly gaining, so it looks like we'll have about 5 riders in the breakaway group today, as they're well over 2 minutes out ahead already. They were allowed to get away pretty easily. So my race day condition is phenomenal right now. +4, almost as high as it can be. And it's also falling in where I need it. I've got a +4 on the mountains. I've got a +4 on the hills. I've got a, +4 on the downhill, which is big today. My sprinting isn't that great, but my stamina +8. My fighter is a +4. Resistance +8. So I could be a contender today. I think I should be able at least to manage that top 10 that the team wants me to achieve, even though I wasn't seen as a top 10 favorite by the pundits going into the day. I am an unknown, so it wouldn't be a given that they would see me as a top 10 favorite. Alright, so on a day that pretty much goes up almost the whole time, that very, very slow, steady climb up is about to resume, as we had one little bit of a downhill section there, and now we're going to slowly make our way up about 1 degree, 1 to 3 degrees here, kind of through this whole stretch, just slight uphill. It's rolling a little bit. It's not straight, but definitely increasing our elevation from the start of the race till now. Alright, so that 5 rider group, that breakaway, they're holding at about 2.5 minutes, so we're not letting them get very far away, which definitely suggests that the winner of the race will be coming from the pack. That also means that there's enough intensity in the peloton that we could be down to a small elite group pretty early on in this thing, and it'll really come down to 10 riders or so towards the end of this. We'll see if my predictions are true, and we'll see if I can hang with them. Again, I'm 8th place coming into this race, but this is definitely a more intense stage than the last one. That's for certain. So it looks like there's a plan on keeping that breakaway somewhere between 2.5 minutes, 2:20. We seem to keep dropping the pace and then picking up the pace and dropping the pace and picking up the pace repeatedly over and over again as the lead gets down to a certain point and we just drop off the pace. They stop racing, it gets back out, another 20 seconds, 30 seconds, and then we speed right back up. So you can see that the lead keeps bobbing back and forth, and you can see how I keep getting towards the front. That was the first of the non-categorized climbs before things start getting serious, so we're just about to that halfway point, and here's our first serious climb of the day. We've got a category 1, and I actually move right towards the front, so nobody's wanting to take it too seriously yet, but here goes a group of 3 riders, McNally among them, looking for points. And McNally gets to the front on that, so he does get first over the line outside of those 5 guys. And McNally is only 4th on those standings as of right now. So we've done a lot of climbing in this race. In that first stage especially. And McNally, we really went for it yesterday, picked up a lot of points, but there wasn't that many climbs. They weren't categorized that high yesterday, so just 4th going in. Alright, here we go. So we actually already have a group falling off the back, so things are starting to shrink down a bit. Again, those 5 riders are still there. They're up over 3 minutes at the moment, and we have the next climb here, and it's a Cat 1, and I'm actually slipping backwards. So even at a 75 this early on was enough to make me drop my placement a little bit in the group. Here we go, second time over a Cat 1. McNally picked up some additional points there, so he did get to the front apparently. Alright, group is shrinking, 97 riders. We're going to really see it start dwindling down here at this point. Now I want to keep myself as fresh as possible, do the least amount of work, but still make sure that I'm not going to get myself dropped. There goes McNally again, trying to take off, but he seems to run out of energy. Nope, there he goes. He doesn't have enough to push for it. And he wasn't able to pick up any points that time. And this, we go down and then right back up again. This looks like this might be that final climb also at the end. And we're at about 8% gradient through a big chunk of this. For me, this is not a hard climb at all. I was the second one over the top. We're down to just 25 riders at the front. We already caught that breakaway group. I was the second one going up over that climb, and for me, that was easy. So now there's a group of just 25 riders left. My entire team is left behind, so I've got no help here through the end of this race, and there's 3 categorized climbs, 4 climbs overall left to get up and over, and I've got to do it on my own. Here 24 riders, a minute ahead of one chasing rider who's probably going to be in a world of hurt there, so I would imagine they're not going to make it up to us on their own from over a minute back. DeGent's right there, right behind me, as he's wearing the yellow jersey. Alright, looks like a lot of team leaders that are left here. A lot of number 1s on those jerseys. With this group up here at the front, and we're getting the third to last climb underway here. Still on speed 2 right now. I don't expect any fireworks at the moment. The group has grown back to 34 now, dropping to 33. Somebody's taken off going for
He's off on his own. The team sponsor won't
points.
be disappointed.
Ponzi. He's going to get up over the climb by himself. Was Ponzi looking for points? No, Ponzi is nowhere near points on that. So I just found my way into the mountain standings a little bit. So Ponzi might be trying to go for a breakaway win there. He's got over a minute on us over the course of that climb, as nobody was pushing the pace too much on that one. Curious about where Ponzi is in the standings. As we're on this downhill, I'm going to take a look at this Ponzi guy and see 39th, 4 minutes back. So there's 39th, 4 minutes back for Ponzi. So as long as he doesn't get more than 4 minutes ahead, and I think I was about 20 or 30 seconds off the pace. So as long as he doesn't get more than 3.5 minutes ahead, I will be fine. So DeGand is in that group that caught back up to us. So it'd be really nice if DeGand gets up here and shields me. I want him to shield me, not the other way.
We've got 15 kilometers to the finish line.
Okay, so the intensity's there. I'm at an 86, and it's saying that that's not fast enough. But as things just got steeper, my 86 seems to be doing just fine. I don't want to waste any energy on this climb, but I do want to be up near the front. But things are not looking that intense at the moment, so got a good chance in this one, as I'm still pretty fresh, not perfect on the day. My stamina is getting down there. We are catching back up to Ponzi, so he's not going to get away. It looks like he's not going to win this thing. He's just about to get caught. He's already pulled over to the side, and the breakaway is done. Here we go, that first time over, and I actually just picked up some points again. I'm up to 8th place now in the mountain standings, but not a big deal at all. 30 riders left, and here we go. Quick descent, and then we're going to go up one last time on that climb. And if I'm as fresh as I am now, I might push it just before the end of that climb, try to get away, and then attack on the downhill. I've done that with success before and won some races. That was definitely against weaker competition. Okay, somebody's pushing now.
Whoa, that's one attack that's going
Hucker.
to leave a good feel
There
in
goes
his
Van
leg.
Rensburg. Here goes me. Okay. I just broke away. I pushed just enough. I've caught back up to these two, and there goes Hucker again.
Another attack. This time it could go all the way.
Just staying steady here. I don't care about the mountain climber points. What I do care about is that I'm in a breakaway of 3 that's got more than 30 seconds on everyone, and I'm first one up over the top.
Now the guys up front are asking serious questions of the riders in the rear, as more of them are left in the wake.
And now it's
The finish line is
a
getting
fast
close.
descent,
The riders just
and I'm
passed
going to
the 5
attack all the way
kilometers road
down.
sign.
So that's 4K. I'm going to use my energy gel, and there you go, 99. See if I can hold it all the way down, full speed. 2.5K to go. Here we go. I'm essentially in sprint mode now. And there's 1K to go, and I will attack. I think I'm going to get a win today. Can I hang on? They're behind me, not far. And I've got it.
Splendid solo
I've
win.
got
A
it. I got the
well-deserved
win.
one.
Van Rensburg comes second. With a time bonus, I might be... I got to be a top 2, you'd think, overall.
We're waiting for the tail enders
And
who continue
Van
to
Rensburg
arrive.
did have a little bit of time on me, but with that time bonus, we'll see if it's enough. I've definitely got the stage win. Tour win, I don't know. I think I'm looking at least at a top 2. But there's my first win at the Pro Continental level of races. I had 5 previous wins, all down in Continental level. And again, even though I'm racing World Tour, this is a Pro Continental race, so this is not one of the World Tour races yet. The team hasn't invited me to those just yet. Go ahead and speed things up. So my strategy worked. Going on to those final couple climbs, actually. I was going to wait till the final climb, but the penultimate climb, Hucker and Van Rensburg both took off, and I decided to go with them. I was strong enough. I was right at the front. I was leading the way. Everybody was following me, and 86 was comfortable. There you go. I got an achievement out of that. Achievements 2. And there you go. There's the win. They had nothing left. There was no sprint in them. And I had plenty left. I was still going strong there at the end. There's just a few guys coming up late. But they missed that break. Picked the perfect time to go. Here's that final K. I'm way over on the side, so they've barely got me in the camera, but here we go, coming up on the finish line now, and you don't even see it. Boy. Somebody needs to fire that cameraman. That cameraman seems to be doing just fine, except for he's looking the wrong direction. But here we go, finish line, one last time, and there it is, the win. Gamer comes in first. Oh, Van Rensburg, they gave him the same time as me. Are you kidding me? There was more than 10 seconds between the two of us, and he was definitely not close to me on the line. He was not sprinting on the line. Terrible development for me. 40 seconds over everybody else will definitely mean that I'm top 2. But to give Van Rensburg the same time I've got is absurd. He did not finish with me at all. He was not with me at all. I was alone over the top of the climb. I was alone all the way down, and I was alone at the finish line. And again, it was at least 10 seconds between us. At least. Considering that I was sprinting and he was just barely riding along at the finish line, was totally gassed, I'm guessing that 10 seconds probably stretched to about 12 or 13 on the finish line. So why would they give him the same time? I'm only going to have, a 4-second bonus over him, so Van Rensburg is going to win the race? Boy, somebody else needs to get fired too. Because we did not finish in a group at all. And these guys weren't together at all. I mean, they were pretty split up. There was, I think, Devanines was first, and then there was a little gap, and these guys came racing in together. Hucker was being passed by all of them, so he crossed the line at the same time as I think there was about 3 sprinters, and then there was a little gap back there, a couple seconds maybe, but we had a huge gap. Well, let's see. Oh, I got enough though. I got enough. So Van Rensburg, though he was ahead of me, it was only by a handful of seconds. Same time, but the count back because of the win, I got first. I was really worried that 10 or 12 seconds was going to be the difference, that I was going to be 6-8 seconds behind him. I didn't know what the gap was. I just knew he was ahead of me on time. You saw that I was 8th going into the stage, and the top 6 all had time on me, but it was spread out. I had about 30 seconds to Ghent, which I overturned that. The 40 seconds and the time bonus was about a 50-second difference to Ghent. But I didn't know where Van Rensburg was. He was about 4th or 5th in the standings, maybe 6th, so he was just ahead of me on time. Whew, got it! So I not only got the stage win, but I won the tour. So there's my first Pro Continental win, and it's essentially a double. I got the stage win and the 3-day tour win. That actually bumped me all the way up to 2nd on the sprint standings as well. I moved up from nowhere to 5th on the mountain climber standings. Poor Mark McNally tried desperately, but you saw him there on my left shoulder, just dying on his way up the, what was that? About third to the end or fourth to the end climb. And then I comfortably went towards the front without even trying and was about second over that climb. Of course, I got the under 25 win as well. And team standings, we were 6th on the day. All right, that's big points. 35 points for first win in Continental. Technically, that's Pro Continental. Ooh, there's another achievement that I just unlocked. First in the overall standings, exceptional. Second in point standings, excellent. Fifth in mountain standings, very good. First in youth standings, exceptional. First on the stage, exceptional. 100 points progression. There's level 14, so I have leveled up. And manager satisfaction, he's happy. So am I. Alright, well, let's see what the damage is when it comes to the attribute increase. By damage, I mean that is a good thing. Mountain, we get a +2. Prologue, +1. Acceleration, +1. Downhill, +1. Baradur, +1. Resistance, +2. And recovery, +2. Overall, that's a +10. Could be better. Really could be. But +10's not bad, especially getting that +2 on the mountains. 74 will make a pretty big difference on staying in against some of these better riders now. 74 is still not that great by any means, so I've got a long ways to go to really be a contender and be ready for those World Tour races. But I'll definitely be in better shape now. And it looks like level 15, I'm probably going to stay with the same axis. Still work on climber because I'm still not a strong climber yet. Early on I was working on as a time trialist, so I can get an edge there, pick up the occasional time trial win. But there you go. Let's see if that improved my overall. Definitely. I picked up 2 victories on the day, technically, so I went from 5 to 7 victories because I got the tour victory and the stage victory on the day. Last year I had 231 points was the final. We'll see. This is going to be worth quite a few points. Quite a few in Super Prestige. So that double victory will have a strong impact. Let's go ahead and proceed a day so that I can both see where we're at in the rankings and where I'm at amongst the team. My average was a 72. We'll see if that's increased at all. Alright, so again, there's the new stats. I've only raced 23 days this season. I haven't been on the bike a whole lot, but yes, my average is a 73 now. So I've gone up to a 73. We'll see where we're at. So let's take a look at the team first. Take a look at the average. I was 13th just one day ago. I was down, I think, right about here compared to the other riders. Here I am, a 73 now, and I'm still not tops for the team, but it looks like I'm up to 7th. So I picked up quite a few spots in the team pecking order with that victory. Let's look at the individual attributes and see where I'm at. On the flat, I'm not even on the charts. I'm still last in the team, 2 below anyone else, so I really need to improve how I am on the flat because I'm losing stamina that way. But I'm now second best. I actually was already second best, but I'm right there with Martin now, just 1 behind him on mountain. Actually, technically 2. Hills, I still got a ways to go there. Time trial, I'm the best on the team. Prologues, best on the team, and pulled quite a bit ahead on that. Cobbles, Well, that's definitely not my strength. Not worst, though. In the sprint, I don't need to be a sprinter as a stage racer, but it's nice to have a little bit of sprinting capability, which I do not. But the acceleration, though, that's one thing you need. You've got to be able to break away on those mountains a little bit. I have a 60 now, but I need a little bit more than that if I'm going to be able to do what I just did to get away and not hurt myself. Downhill, though, I could really use a little bit more. If I was stronger, if I was at least 70 plus, I could do what I did in that stage a bit more often, especially against better competition. The Baradur, the fighting attribute, not too good. Not too good. Definitely like a little bit more of that. It's good for breakaways. Stamina, also category or attribute that I need some serious work on. I only have a 63. But resistance is a big one. 66, and recovery is another big one for those stage races. And I've got a solid 75 there, which means how much energy do I recover day to day. Okay, so that good. I've picked up those 2 victories now, and that's matched the total for the entire team. But World Tour rankings, I haven't been there, so I don't have any points. You can see the team itself has actually done fairly well on that, picked up quite a few points. Martin, of course, my counterpart, the other stage racer, he's been the one doing the World Tour stage races. I'm doing all the Pro Continental. So he's picked up 228 points, which is only 76th overall. So it's not like he's tearing it up or anything, but he's got points, and I haven't even had a race. Surprisingly, though, he's not at the Giro d'Italia with the rest of the team. So it looks like they're not off with a stage racing specialist, which kind of makes sense. We're not a big team. But let's see. Results. Where am I fitting in now? Again, I'm not going to be up here, but Chris Froome right now leads the way. Simon Yates is second. Michael Matthews is third. For the continental level, actually probably picked up quite a few points on that. This doesn't matter. This isn't what I'm counting, and apparently I haven't picked up that many points. Or any points. I didn't see my name at all. Okay, Super Prestige. This is the one that matters. Michael Matthews leads the way there. Chris Froome is second. Yates is third. Uran is fourth. And Quintana is concludes top 5. This is the one where I'm looking for where am I at. There's one of my teammates, 94th, Maurice. There's Martin, 114th. Smith down in 125. And there I am, 143rd. I just picked up 243 places. With that win, I have 178 points. 178. And I divide my score by, by 5? So I've got 34 points. Wow. So, nicely done there. So 34 points. That's pretty phenomenal. In fact, I think I should actually count that as 35 because I'm over 175. So that's already nearly halfway to my total from last season. That was the final total. This is only the second race that I've picked up any points in. So there you go. These races definitely accumulate a lot more points and faster. And I just made myself 143rd overall. Looks like I'm about 4th on the team. which seems to be just about right, just about appropriate. I should still be an unknown. Yeah, I'm still an unknown. That's going to take some time to overcome. But it's wins like that that are going to get the job done. Okay, well, I'm out of time. I'll see you a little bit later down the calendar for the next race. But there we go. There's my first Pro Continental. Not only stage win, but I got the tour win as well on level time with the guy who I beat out in the stage for the win. So the two of us not only went for the stage win, but we went for the tour win as well, and I came out on top. All right, well, that does it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer, and remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe, and tune in next time on my road to the record. Bye for now.